Hello everyone, this is Ethan Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. As you can see, we managed to stay in Vault once again. Not too great of a lift considering our offense was plus 203, I believe. Yeah, plus 203, that was the team we used there. So let's talk about the shenanigans that went down. So for the most part, offense this week was pretty dicey just because we were goofballing most of the time. I believe we ended up sacking a unit 3 times during the entire season. Not very good. Well, actually, no, I think it was either 2 or 3. 2 of them were definitely just careless mistakes. And one of them was just me not being aware of game mechanics. So I was up against a pretty aggressive cav line of sorts, and so I wanted to be aggressive against them and player phase into them, followed by an enemy phase with the Orm. But the problem was I couldn't exactly do everything that I wanted to do, because there was a legendary Sigurd there, and he definitely does a lot of damage to Bjorn, especially because we're not buffing her defense in any reasonable way. The only way we can buff her defense is via Plumeria's, what's it called, Sweet Dreams, which, not very reliable, so we mostly were stuck with a pretty meh defense stat overall, especially against green units, but even against red units like Legendary Sigurd, she'd still take over half her health and damage, despite having Mirror Stance 3. So, here I'm not entirely sure what the opponent was planning here, but pretty stuck with some 3 kills here. And unfortunately, Duma, of course, is going to get absolutely obliterated by Legendary Dimitri, no surprise there.
We will not lose.
Stacking all that damage reduction, there's no way for Duma to win that matchup unless Dimitri is at 1 HP, or something close to that. But, anyways, going back to that matchup, so I had calced that my Legendary Nana was going to barely survive the opponent's Odor, who had Brutal Shell up, and as we all know, Legendary Nana's defense is not that great, and that Odor is of course running Attack Defense Menace, and there was a Mirabilis there for Flower Bees debuffing as well, so I was like, you know, let's just bait with we can barely bait with Legendary Nana and get away with it, and nope. What I had overlooked and didn't realize was the chip damage from attack speed push 4 combined with her land sword healing results in her just losing 5 HP if she is at full HP, which was not some. I did not expect that. I was expecting her to stay at full HP. Probably should have known because we've had previous interactions with stuff like that before. But what are you gonna do about it? It's a bit unfortunate. At the end of the day, we get to goofball more and more as we go along and learn from that. So. Ended up losing Nana there. The reason why I can make that play is because I was also baiting out Mirabilis. So theoretically, had Odor not been able to one-shot Legendary Nana, it was an exact one-shot, by the way, it was so rigged. Exact 55 damage, so sad. But I was baiting out Mirabilis with a Shera, so Mirabilis would have attacked first, and so Nana would not have died. It would just be Mirabilis left, so easy cleanup. That didn't happen, of course, so we ended up losing a unit there. Feels bad. But overall, some pretty interesting matches this week. We had to do definitely a good amount of AI manipulation. A lot of daily damage calcs for sure. And unfortunately for Bjorn here, the weapon triangle is not enough to deal with legendary Nana, so she gets to run away and go back by running reposition to keep cycling through our units and having them retreat. Of course, inevitably, if someone knows what they're doing, they can force an overextension, but here, legendary Nana is just gonna absolutely obliterate Ascended Bjorn. It's not like she ever had a chance. And once again, we get the mean reposition. Brave Erica is chilling in the back, ready to snipe down someone. And so we have to attack Nana twice here to pick up the kill because she's able to survive. Yeah, that's definitely another lesson learned this week. If she's at full HP and she attacks, apparently she's just minus 5 HP afterwards. Which is kind of interesting to me. I would expect the effects to combine with each other. So that basically says, in some sense, that the healing from Landsword procs first, which doesn't really make sense to me. Unless I misread the chip damage from attack speed push. Like when it procs, maybe that has to do something with it, but... Oh well, now we know for the future. Legendary Nana was definitely absolutely insane on offense this week, though. Being able to take out a lot of threats that had damage reduction was a fantastic thing to have. It's just that her Kanto's not great on offense, for sure. Because the near trace on Legendary Nana is nice. It's better than not having it at all, but... in E3's offense, if you want to do a full hidden run, that's why Reagan is so nice. It's because she has a fixed Kanto 3 for the first 4 turns. Or like Yuri here, he gets a fixed Kanto 2. So you can actually hit and run effectively without having to kick in a bunch of units. A lot of times if I wanted to actually hit and run with Legendary Nana, I would have to smite her in first with Ashera and then go about our business. So that was definitely interesting to say the least. Another interesting thing here is they just hit end turn like this. Definitely did not need to lose Plumeria like this. They could have just out of the way, but nope. And it's not like it's unpredictable because Legendary Nana is the only assistless unit on our team at that point, I believe, so it's pretty clear that she's going to move first. So your only try of having that not happen is to get Legendary Nana to go straight down, which it is possible, but they didn't do that. And well, at this point, now history is just repeating itself. Now, Erica is going to move first, and well, all the enemy units are free game to pick up the kill on. Dual Crom doesn't have Deadeye up, but even if he had Deadeye up, he still would have missed the kill by 1. So, and that could have been disastrous, of course, because that would have procced Wings of Mercy for Lift. Forgot to mention this week we were running a goofball set on Lift for the fun of it. Yeah. It was supposed to be turn 1 open the future of Infinity and attack defense unity for the memes. Yeah, not very practical, especially against Element.
Ridiculous.
You just proc Elements, false start shenanigans on them, and it's all in shambles. Yeah, here they leave Elamine in Duma's range, not entirely sure what they were trying to do. But that's a kill for Duma. And now he gets danced again to go on another attack here, but he's up against Brave Erico for damage reduction. So, unfortunately, we get the rigged end of the stick, and he can't pick up the kill. But they end up surrendering here. because currently Duma can one-shot all of their units. Of course, these two are trivial one-shots. Yuri, he only one-shots because Glimmer's up, so technically they could win this match, but yeah, at that point, if you're dropping another unit, probably not worth taking the match. But definitely on offense, I keep saying it, but legendary, no. The damage output was just too good. For sure, one of the biggest problems she faced was having enough speed. That's why I decided to run attack speed solo on her this time around on offense, rather than our usual shenanigans. I'm not entirely sure what this person was expecting, but Brave Erica versus Elamine is not going to be a great time. Probably a misstep of sorts, not entirely sure, but maybe they just couldn't see a way to win, so they just went for this because it starts out the AI get going. Not entirely sure. But I'm definitely thinking about what to do with Saros. Speaking of Saros, I was thinking about giving her distant counter and times pulse from Glyph, and then sometime if I want to chuck her on defense and give her have her use distant counter on defense, that's an option. But the main thing's for times pulse.
Careful now.
So we can possibly with Olivia's concentration pulse set up a turn 1 special, or we could do a 1 cooldown special if we don't care about guard. Which, let's be real, we don't really care on this defense. So, yeah, we're just gonna go with the 1 cooldown special or something. Because Moonbow or Glimmer, neither is gonna be particularly useful. Something like Iceberg would be much better. And at that point, we'd probably run Mirror Impact Wings of Mercy or something. So that would be nice. But, maybe we should run Glimmer if we're gonna do the Wings of Mercy thing, but we're kind of just banking on the guaranteed follow-up attack. Get a guaranteed kill. Of course, there's damage reduction and whatnot, so probably never really a guaranteed kill. Duma getting absolutely obliterated as expected, and well, Legendary Fae is Legendary Fae, so we're not going to be able to theoretically one-shot him, because then we'll be able to one-round KO here.
I will burn my regrets.
So unfortunately, Life Unending is going to save the chicken, and she is going to one-run KO Ascended Leguarn because Ascended Leguarn doesn't have no follow-up. Ooh, not that it would matter because Olivia would dance and then
How debonair.
Ascended Leguarn would die in the second shot anyways, so it doesn't matter. Here we are with Bride Bjorn, who definitely does things on offense, Kappa. I honestly, from all my offense shenanigans, I see
Take care not to burn.
Animus defenses generally. I almost
Vanish
see
beneath the
no
waves.
use for isolation at this point of the meta. Just because there's false start. False start on Elamine has really shifted the more common types of defenses people run. So it becomes a situation where we are taking advantage of other people switching the meta up, essentially, because of Elamine. So we just benefit without having to do anything. So, yeah. It's still nice to have isolation as an option for sure if you're using more than one team like I am. Like I'm not. I was like, wait, I'm not using more than one team. It's just the one team. Fun stuff. And once again, the reposition memes go on, but they decide to attack with the Legendary Quad. Got that gravity effect going. But of course, the problem is that Eric is moving first, and she's gonna get danced. So bye-bye gravity, and Harmonized Mia does not have a good enemy phase. No damage reduction there. And once again, the loop happens with reposition, so they're just gonna surrender. And of course, I haven't mentioned it yet, but it goes without saying, since it was Duma bonus this season, we could merge Plonk on defense and have the ultimate whale maximum lift loss of 20 a match, which is definitely nice. Faye here with sudden panic is just a death sentence for Ascended Legion in the first place. No field buffs, and of course as well there is Ascended Athene, so not great. But what's not great for us as well is that Legendary Nana just does not have enough attack to one-round KO this Ascended Athene, so she's gonna get blown out of the water. Which is unfortunate, but they can't expect Legendary Nana to beat blue tanks and Ether Raids. And on Ether Raids
Ready or not,
defense,
here it comes.
one, she doesn't have support like Harmony's Catcher Quad, because the HP inflation is incredibly useful for tanks, and of course getting the extra defense and whatnot from Mythic buffs really helps out those blue units against Legendary Nana, on top of their potential debuffs and whatnot.
And now it is your turn.
So, well, Lith is going
No
to
longer
absolutely
allowed.
just ting on Ascended Athene. That's pretty expected. And a nice 95 damage for the one-shot, so it's just going to be easy peasy cleanup at this point. Would not matter if Doom is advanced strength, because of
I
course
won't
they
back
have
down.
Legendary Claude for Fallen Star damage reduction shenanigans. The only way they could screw this up is if they had everyone at basically 1 HP, and Duma was in vantage range. None of them have party bearing, as far as I know, or remember, I should say. But Duma just doing Duma things. Not much he can do in the first place. So it's going to be a GG after they collect Ether Emperor here. They don't decide to break the anniversary cake for some reason. I don't know. They broke everything else. Maybe they are fond of second anniversary and couldn't be bothered, but couldn't handle breaking it. I don't know. And well, here we are for save comps, and of course, the big thing here is Valentine Gustav here probably doesn't want to 1v1 Legendary Nana. So they decide to hit end turn 1 like so. Seems alright. Of course, the main thing is they just need to make sure Legendary Nana doesn't actually get to attack Valentine Gustav, and that's not going to happen, of course, because they hit end turn without initiating any of our units. So Oder, being a 7-slot unit, hits end turn, which means Olivia is, of course, going to dance him after Brave Erica tings
Out of my sight!
Valentine Gustav. And of course, Oder's not going to do anything here, especially since
To
he
open
doesn't
the way!
even have Brutal show up, although against Gustav's damage reduction, yeah, that wouldn't have gone well. But here they go up against Nana here. And once again, a Sheriff fails to one-shot. So that means Legendary Nana gets to live a turn, but that's where Thor comes in to pick up the kill. Unfortunately for Thor, there is a unit here named Liv with Open the Future ready and attack defense unity, so she's not surviving.
Magnificent.
And now we can dance and pick up yet another kill because Valentine Gustav is nowhere to be seen.
And
Not entirely sure why they had him leave if they were going to take out Legendary Nana. But Ripperonis. And once again we have a save unit. And of course Yuri. No safety fence, but doesn't really matter too much. another near safe Brave Edelgard, so she definitely wants to 1v1 Legendary Nana, Kappa. Not sure what their game plan is though. Are they just going to hit end turn? Or are they going to initiate and then hit end turn? Because it's best here, again, if they just hit end turn without initiating here. Because for one, this doesn't really do anything for them, what they just did with attacking with Yuri, because Erica is just going to heal everything back. Sure, there's the dagger debuff, but was Brave Erica ever going to survive
No mercy.
Brave Edelgard anyways? The answer is
I will
yes.
be your lance.
But because they're running noontime,
mercy.
but I mean, against the 80% damage reduction, yeah, that's not gonna happen. So, wait, I forgot, you actually have to pick up the kill for the 7-slot unit to not hit end turn. I forget those mechanics way too much. Should probably actually study them because I totally have safe defense and definitely use it, Kappa. Jokes aside, it's all about that 7-slot mechanics. I don't actually remember everything I should know about 7-slot shenanigans.
I've done all
So
I
should
can.
probably refresh on that. You can get some quirky things to happen, for sure, with 7-slot, especially if they're weaponless
future.
7-slot.
The future
Get
is dark.
funny interactions if the enemy doesn't know what they're doing. But at this point, we already lost 2 units, but looks like we're gonna keep going here.
Better
Yuri's got
accept it.
Luna, and so he's not going to be able to one-shot Nana. Barely. But with that dagger debuff, Elamine can one-shot Nana. That's pretty much the story of Nana's life. She either gets one-shot or two-shot. Feels bad. And they're really running far away for some reason, not entirely sure why. It's not like our units can actually approach them, because Duma has to move first. And here it looks like Duma once again going to miss the one-shot on Dragon. So, not great. It's by 2. Of course, there's 30% damage reduction, but still. Now, Duma's in vantage range, which is fun. Now he's not. But he gets Glimmer. So, can he kill? The answer is obviously. Regan is taking way too much damage for that. And well, Lift gets 2. And
To God.
take out Elamine. Also gets that chip down shot to Duma for vantage range. Not that it actually matters, because
Step aside.
he's next to healing tower, so he's gonna get out of vantage range yet again. Of course, this is intentional, by the way. Having the healing tower in the center of the map. If they leave it around, then it's just a weird thing that can happen. For them to win here, Altina would have had to have been able to take out Duma. Clearly, that was not the case because they have Yuri take out Duma, and well, Altina has no chance of taking out Olivia, so that's just a timeout. And here we are with a Fallen Edelgard and some offensive units, I guess. Plus 10 Innis. No follow-up's definitely useful in Ether Raid's offense. Would recommend. I wouldn't recommend this though. There's absolutely no damage reduction on Fallen Edelgard here. She's panicked and she's debuffed and she has no distance.
My path
Not
ends
entirely
here.
sure what they were going with this, but derp. But of course, Legendary Nana is going to overextend. There's no one else in range. But it would have been lights out for Fallen Edelgard regardless, even if he could take out Ascended Late Guard because the Nana follow-up is just too strong. But what's also equally strong is getting a guaranteed double. And if Legendary Nana had that, she'd be absolutely insane. Because other than not having enough attack girl, their big problem is actually being able to attack twice, which of course for slower units is trivial. But for faster units, that's where things get dicey. Especially in modes like
She'll
Arena.
regret
Definitely
that.
I was running Heavy Blade on her this week to see how that would go, and
Corin's the
definitely was
coolest.
short on speed in a ton of matchups to actually double.
Time to land.
But in most of those matchups, she was one-shotting, so that was nice. But just like the amount of damage dual Corin did there for special, quite a nice amount of damage. Got this for Rampage here. And they should just be able to kick the dual Corin out of the way, and that's exactly what they do, so Duma can't reach. No armored boots on him. And no bold fighter either.
Corin's the coolest.
Wouldn't be able to pick up the one shot anyways. Feels bad.
Your life is forfeit.
And this is pretty much the end of the season, so they don't even go for the ether structures here, it seems like. Actually, no. I forgot Olivia was still alive. Alright, they should be able to pick up the ether structures, but are they going to break the catapult?
To
No.
shreds.
Break all the structures challenge failed catapult.
Divine punishment.
But other than that Fallen Edelgard play, not too terrible. I mean, granted, they're using a bunch of player phase units. I would hope they would be able to shred these units. Oh, with that is currently all of our replays so far. Of course, since we're doing the merge plonking, we're unfortunate here to lose 20 lift, but every other match, even if we were not under lift loss protection, we wouldn't have lost any lift anyways. So that's cool. Not top 1k, that's expected. You have to be well over 21.1k to get top 1k. So that's pretty standard. Already seen Resonant battles, easy claps. Allegiance battles, also easy claps because we have Legendary Nana maxed out. And with this particular team, we are now scoring 2 points higher than our usual max with our Water Season squad. Because of course Legendary Nana plus Legendary Julia just score more than Azura plus Chrom. So yeah, we're set pretty much for Allegiance battles for life now for top 1k. Unless something ridiculous happens, or we just don't play. That's definitely a way we could not make top 1k, but I decided here to do another run. Originally I was at 3,880. It seems like it's barely going to stay, but it seems like it's going to stay nonetheless. There's like 50, 60 ranks. Last time I checked, it was about half an hour ago. There was 50, 60 ranks from dropping, so probably staying because it was hovering for over a day. It was hovering under 100 ranks of space. So like, say we had 3,880 for about a day. We were like in the 700s in ranking. So I don't know. I just went for 3,882 because we're scoring, 756 to 768 with this team, so pretty straightforward. Dual Ike definitely annoying this week, particularly just because, aside from his damage reduction, of course, and the special acceleration he gets in his weapon, we were not running an attack speed or speed boosting attack and speed boosting seal slot on Legendary Nana, so sometimes she would be unable to double the guy, so we would have to do some creative things to pick up the kill, but still worked nonetheless. Can't worry too much about that. We still are running a dancer in Arena pretty much every week, so 10 out of 10 experience. But I believe that's it for now, so we'll be back when the results drop in. And, let's go to E3 first. Whoops. Alright, pretty standard here. Unfortunately for us, we're back to the situation where we don't have a bonus unit, we don't on either offense or defense. So, there's a pretty solid chance we actually just don't stay in vaults this week. That's the wrong Meant to do that for defense. Dark Shrine bonus. So, we'll see how it goes. Not expecting it to go well. We'll go ahead and triple stack here. I might put in Legendary Lilna. I'm kind of leaning against it, but we might just goofball with the same setup. Nothing really should change here because, oh wait, Nana has fewer dragon flowers here. Maybe it'll totally matter, Kappa. Yeah, that's probably not likely. Maybe run something else on Katria, not entirely sure. But more goofballing like usual, what could possibly go wrong? Resonant Downs, easily going back up to level 19 as we saw. Let's see how we did in Arena. Should be staying by a long shot, and it should not be difficult for us to stay again. Of course, we're abusing Earth Blessings left and right. And pretty decent Allegiance panels ranking. Far away from dropping out of top 1k, but also far away from getting into top 50. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye!